Hello guys, this is me, ARKIdose. So for today, ang tatalakayin naman natin is BP344 na ay accessibility law tungkol sa mga building na merong not only on building but also in public transportation, ganyan, toilets. So let's start. So rule number 1, okay, wait. Before that, what is BP344? So, ito is an act to enhance the mobility of disabled person, okay? By requiring certain buildings or also institutions, establishments, and public utilities to install facilities and other devices. So, rule number 1. So, anong meron sa rule number 1? Yung scope and application. Ano bang purpose ng accessibility law o ng BP 344? Ito yung to provide minimum requirements and standards to make buildings, facilities, and utilities for public use accessible to disabled person. Okay? Ano naman yung application niyan? So, madalas, meron to sa public and private buildings and related structure for public use. Also streets and highways and public utilities. And also public transportation terminals, including those of LRT. Meron din sa bus, gano'n. So, rule number 2 naman is the minimum requirements. So, categories of disabled person. So, confinement of wheelchair, syempre, wheelchair. Mga mixed crutches, artificial support, braces, yan yung mga nakasaklay. Impairment of hearing or sight. Syempre, bulag, bingi, pipi, ganyan. Condition of aging, mga matatanda, yan. Mga elderly, senior citizens, etc. And also yung congenital mental impairments. And ito yung basic physical planning requirements naman. Yun yung kasama din yung accessibility, reachability, usability, orientation, safety, and workability and efficiency. Sa rule number 3, specific requirements sa classification by use of occupancy. Pag category 1 is ang meron sa 1 naman is residential. Pag 2, category 2, ito ay commercial. Pag category 3, educational and institutional, mga schools, mga hospitals, etc. Category 4, agricultural, and category 5 yun, ancillary. Rule number 4 is public transportation. Ang BP344 also, kasama din doon yung public transportation. Kasi, hindi lang naman sa building merong disabled person, but also in public transportations or private, diba? So, sa rule number 4, public transportation is nandun yung regular buses, mga 5 designated seats near doors, okay? Pag regular buses. Ito yung mga walang aircon. Tapos, first class, premier, and aircon buses. Ito naman yung meron sa harapan na 4 na seat na para lang sa disabled person, mga senior citizen, elderly, yan. Passenger trains, 6 seats per car nearest the door, diba? Meron to sa mga LRT, MRT, pero hindi lang seats, 6 seats yung meron. Mostly sobra pa. Sobra. Jeepneys naman, 2 seats, preferably front seats. Okay? Kasi syempre, mahirapan sila umakyat, kailangan nasa front lang lagi. Domestic shipping, allocate on per class basis. Give priority during the embarkation and disembarkation. Rule number 5 naman is the administration and enforcement. Ano ba yun? So, ito yung stipulated in Section 46 of RA 7277, otherwise known as the Magna Carta for Disabled Person. So, kahit na sinong tao na mag-violates ng rules and regulation ng act na to, ito ay magkakaroon ng fine and imprisonment. Okay? Magkakaroon ng kunyari, magbabayad ka kapag yun nilabag mo, okay, makukulong ka. So, yung person individual's liable, syempre dun sa pagpapatupad nun sa building and establishment or structure, si owner, contractor, architect, engineer, building official, or other public officials. Dapat yun lahat liable. Individuals liable para sa building, structure, or etc. na dapat lagi ma-implement yung BP344 or accessibility law. So, minimum requirement naman tayo. Yung minimum requirement outside and around buildings curve out. So, yung mga curve out, ito yung mga parang maliliit na ramps outside the buildings or kahit sa daanan lang, sidewalks. Drop curves, ito yung may sidewalk, then the inclined surface. Ito naman, bawal siya mag-exceed ng 1:12. Okay? Kasi masyado ng steep kapag masyado ng tinasan pa. And then, sidewalk, continuous curve, and shrubs plan. Ito yung usually nakikita natin pag ito. Ito din. But, iba lang nga lang ito. Ito yung example ng drop curve. And then, the pedestrian crossing. Kung saan pwedeng dumaan yung wheelchair, paakyat. The cross-section. And also, another types of, or ibang variation ng drop curve. Sa corner, another plant. And then railings, drop curve, down. Ito yung mga examples na usually makikita natin sa daan. Sample of drop curves. Ito yung corner, drop curves to corner, drop curves, corner. Also, corner, drop curves, corner. Ito naman yung drop curve na nasa side. And then the corner, the drop curve at corner. Okay? The sidewalks. Usually, pag may drop curve, yung ating walkways or ating sideways is merong iba't ibang klaseng tactile blocks, okay? Lalo na pag may bulag or may wheelchair, malalaman nila kung bababa na ba, paramp na, diba? May warning blocks na tinatawag. And then always handrails. The sidewalk and the handrails and open spaces. Yung minimum sidewalks is 1.20. Pwede nyo naman taasan doon, but minimum is 1.20. Usually kasi, pag ang radius ng ating wheelchair, 60.60 by 0.60 is equals to 1.525. Am I right? Parang, basta, 1.5. So, turning space. Always may turning space na para sa wheelchair, 1.5 by 1.5. And then, ito yung sa handrail height. Dalawa yung hawak. Ang handrail, which is yung may lower part, kapag naka-wheelchair, para abot nila yung handrail, 0.70. And then, sa taas naman, kapag naman mga normal na tao, o kaya bulag, ganyan, 0.90 meters. And then, the easy-to-grasp design. Ito yung madalas na design ng mga handrails na mas madaling kapitan ng matatanda, na kahit na sino. So, mas maganda yung madaling na lang hindi masyadong malaki masyadong handrail. And then, kailangan may pagitan na 50 mm. And this is the sidewalk. And then, the sign should not reduce the available walkway width to less than 120. Kailangan yung clear width to. Clear path, okay? Na walang obstruction. And then, the signage, kailangan lang yung nakikita lang ng kahit naka-wheelchair. Lalo na ang eye, yung nakikita lang natin. Ang normal sight lines is 30 degrees up and 30 degrees down. And then design on walls and doors. Ang minimum height niya is 1.40 and yung maximum taas ng signboard is from floor to the top of the signage is 1.60. Okay, this is the minimum sizes of minimum requirement dimensions for the signage. Pag doorknobs, latches, .82 to 1 meters. And may kick plate, lalo na sa mga naka-wheelchair, kailangan may kick plate lagi. Para pwede lang nilang itulak using the wheelchair, okay? Ramp dimension, 180 again. Kailangan ang landing area is 180 ang minimum width. Okay? 1.20 naman yung lapad. And then the length is 1.80. Yung maximum 6 meters o meter. And then the max gradient is 1:12. Okay? And then the landing again, 150. Para hindi sila kaagad mahulog. Kailangan may mas malaking space kahit pa paano. And then the handrails on both sides, 0.90 kagaya ko kanina, and 0.70. And then the landing again, the final landing, ito yung rest area or rest landing, yung second. And then the final landing to the next level is 1.80. Para at least meron ng turn yung radius ng wheelchair. Accessible parking slot for the pag may sakay na wheelchair is 3.7 meters. 3.7. Parang kayang bumukas ng door. At pwede makapasok yung wheelchair. And always, ang slot ng accessible parking slot always malapit sa building. Para hindi masyado mapagod yung disabled person. At saka, as much as possible, iklian ang travel time ng mga disabled person. But, hindi naman boring, diba? Turnabout spaces at dead ends. Ito kasi, diba, usually may mga dead ends sa building, may dead ends sa daan, kahit saan. So, kailangan mag-allot ka lagi ng turnabout, lalo na yung wheelchair radius. And then, assembly places, seating accommodation. Ito yung madalas sa building naman. Kunyari, institution, o kaya sa anong government building, may seating capacity. So, kapag 4 to 50 seats, pag 4 to 6 seat naman, yung wheelchair seating space is dalawa. Dalawa yan. So, pag 51 to 300, 4 na wheelchair naman ang dapat meron. So, kapag 301 to 500, 6 naman. Pag 500 up and every additional 100 seats, may 1. Space per person with braces or crutches. Always a lot of space for them, okay? Para hindi maging sagabal, diba? Hindi sila mahirapan na lumabas, dumaan, etc. Okay? Telephone, okay? Yung height is 0.70, yung pinaka-lalim. And then yung height ng telephone is 1.10. Okay. Pag doors and corridors, meters max distance from the entry to the elevator lobby. Kasi madalas ang mga disabled person or elderly, ganyan, mga senior citizen, madaling mapagod. Lalo na yung mga walang wheelchair, yung naglalakad lang, may crutches, diba? May mga saklay. Ang maximum 30 meters, pero kailangan merong resting area, okay? May upuan. Kung lalagpas ka man doon, kailangan siguraduhin mong may upuan. Okay? Pero maximum na yung 30 meters. Minimum dimensions of elevator, 1.10 meters by 1.40 meters. And then the opening of the door ng elevator is 0.80 minimum. Okay, the button size, then the minimum water closet stall dimensions. Okay, the turning space 1.5 by 1.5. So always kailangan may support handrails sa toilet kung saan sila hawak. Okay. And also kapag sa urinal, pag sa mga lalaki, laging may hawakan, may handrails na support. Maximum of 0.45 meters yung taas, yung pinaka-tip ng urinal. And then the water closet is 0.45 meter yung height, yung mismong pisngi ng water closet. And then 0.80 yung supporting handrail pang support. And then yung sa accessible stair naman, may slip-resistant tread with non-skid nosing materials, nosing of color and gray value in high contrast to the rest of stairs, tactile strip at top of the bottom of the stair. Tactile, ibig sabihin para medyo hindi madulas. Hindi madulas, yun yung purpose nun. And then slanted nosing siya. Maiwas ng dapa. Lalo na ito yung madalas pwedeng i-apply sa mga stair for elderly. Avoid. Matitisod ka kasi dito eh. Matitisod ka dito. Kapag sa ito, slanted nose, preferred. Ito yung non-slip nosing, para sa nosing. Madalas yan makikita nyo sa mga public. Not only public, but also in private buildings. May mga ganyan. Even in the fire exits, may mga ganyan. Para wala masyado madulas. Okay. So, that's all. Thank you. And sana maging okay and may natutunan kayo. And thank you.